um, looking at the last set of Western Conference teams, the Dallas Mavericks and the LA Clippers fucking series. So
Yeah,
Dallas,
hopefully this ends with both teams getting
yeah,
eliminated.
they just tie and they just never end it.
I mean, let's be honest. Nobody outside of LA likes the Clippers.
No,
Nobody likes any of those stars. Kawhi is a freaking he's an embarrassment, honestly, to the NBA, in my opinion, with his antics over the years, with his fake injuries and his bullshit and all that other stuff.
yeah,
It's funny that Russell Westbrook gets the hate that he does when that dude just shows up every night to play basketball. He's got a love of basketball that knows no boundaries, and people hate him. And then, playoff P and all the other BS they got. And then you got frickin' Wax City Kyrie Irving. And then Luka Doncic, he thinks he gets fouled every second he's on the court, and he has to throw a fucking hissy fit after every play. I got to tell you, man, the Kings set themselves back 100 years drafting Marvin Bagley over Luka, but after dealing with DeMarcus and throwing a fit on every play,
yep.
I absolutely could not have stood watching Luka every single night. I know he's a superstar, but watching him play, it's just like, it's almost as sometimes it's shy as like this, just watching them with the foul baiting and the bullshit and the complaining. You know what I mean? Like, at least DeMarcus would complain because he didn't think he fouled nobody. Because DeMarcus would go down on the offensive side and he'd get his ass beat in the post. He'd get his face smacked. So then he goes down and he's playing defense. He gets called for these touch fouls that piss him off. But Luka, man, watching that dude complain is exhausting.
He baits the fuck out of everything, and he thinks everything should be a foul, and he definitely complains a lot, and he doesn't play fucking defense ever, right? Like, the reason the Mavs are this good today is not because, Luka's fucking going crazy. No, Luka can actually focus primarily on only offensive stuff, and he doesn't have to barely play any fucking defense because of the acquisitions of PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. Like, those two acquisitions went crazy for their front court. It absolutely changed the entire team, the defensive team. You know, and I do want to back up a little bit. Luka in game 4, I believe, was tested a lot, and he they got after him quite a bit, and he played decent defense. I'll give him the credit that he deserves there. But it's such a, I don't like watching him either, man. I just, every single, like, my cousins that live up in Washington, and I talk to them, and I'm like, they watch all fucking basketball all the fucking time. They watch everything. And I asked them how they feel about Luka, and they can't fucking stand the guy. They're like, he's just boring to watch. He's a fucking bitch. He's a crybaby. Like, it's same feelings about like Joel Embiid and like these type of like superstars who file bait and they do all the same last bullshit.
Luka
I'm like,
is so bad that we just spent 6 minutes complaining about this series and we didn't even talk about James Harden. That's how bad Luka is.
Yep, exactly.
Not to cut you off, but I don't know how you could, like, and I'm literally watching it as we talk. How could you watch Luka play a game of basketball and then, God, this is going to pain me to say. Let's set aside my Kings fandom for a second. How could you watch a game of Luka playing basketball and then turn on a Pacers game and watch Tyrese Halliburton and think to yourself, oh yeah, I'm more entertained by Luka? That shit is just like the way Tyrese plays with love and joy, and he just shot a 3, follows his shot and dunked the ball off the tip. He didn't even get the rebound. He skied up and dunked the ball just now. I'm sitting here watching it. And then you got Luka. Luka had shot that 3 and then turned to the ref and screamed because someone touched his thigh as he was shooting. It's frustrating because he's supposed to be the next generation of superstar, and this is not what we want to watch. Like,
no, not at all. And we're looking, new generation of superstar, and looking at the old generation of the LA Clippers. If the Clippers don't pull out a win on Friday, that's series, that's game. That's it. Yeah. Looking at the future of the Clippers, specifically, Paul George has a player option. He's going to be brought back. James Harden is an unrestricted free agent. What's the question there? Because the other guys are PJ Tucker, Mason Plumlee. Russell Westbrook has a player option. But besides that, James Harden's 30, he's going to be 35 years old. He's unrestricted free agent. Does he stay in LA, or is he going to move on to somewhere else again?
Nah, they're not bringing him back. There's no way, especially if they lose this series. You know what? He's going to go sign somewhere with Klay Thompson, and that team's going to be absolutely fucking terrible next year. That's where he'll end up at, because some dumbass team's going to hand Klay a bag, even though he ain't worth shit anymore. And
it's true.
I shouldn't. Klay's separate of this conversation because that dude got his career sapped by injuries, and he was a hell of a player. And it's disappointing to see it end this way for him. But it just, if I had it my way, no one would sign him. James Harden would just have to retire, or he can go play with D'Lo in Shanghai.
Right. It's just disappointing because James Harden on the Rockets was my favorite shooting guard in the league, and it wasn't particularly close. I was just recently talking about this with my cousins, and I'm like, it wasn't close. He was my favorite, and he was just super entertaining, and he was fun to watch, and I loved the player he was. And then all of a sudden, all the antics came out, and it's fucking disappointing to see my love for a player turn to hate very quickly because of he plays for a rival, or I just don't fucking like him anymore. It's just disappointing.